All right, so before we get started, I want to leave you with a self-worth affirmation that you can remember as we talk, right? So the affirmation goes, I am the measure of my worth, and I say that I am worthy. So repeat that affirmation to yourself and always remember that you determine your worth. You don't have to wait for somebody to tell you who you are. And that's a quote by Beyonce. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah V, and today I want to talk with you about self-worth. So I love the topic of self-worth. I feel like personally, when I look back on my self-worth journey or discovering my self-worth, I feel like it was built up a lot when I was younger. So my mom, when she came to America, she needed a lot of help, like transitioning and moving around because people felt like she had a very strong accent. And I became that person. I became that advocate for her. So she would always make me go and talk to people that, we needed to like fix paperwork or do whatever. I was very empowered to do certain things at a young age. I learned a lot of new things because I was put in that position. And it just gave me like a sense of like being capable. I was capable of doing whatever. And it built me up at a very young age to just be self-empowered, to be an advocate for myself, for other people. I feel like it built my self-worth up. So I was just thinking about the topic and I'm like, I felt like I didn't really have too much of an issue with self-worth as far as like a foundation. I feel like there were times that I definitely felt like my self-worth was like diminished at times, once I got into the world and I started to get to know people, I started to be in relationships. There were things that tested my self-worth. So I wanted to leave you with some tips to help you figure out how to boost your self-worth if you're looking to do that, or to build a foundation, a good solid foundation of self-worth. So go ahead and leave a comment down below. Tell me, do you feel like your self-worth was built at home, or your parents, or maybe like a mentor or someone set a foundation for your self-worth? Or do you feel like you have recently started to like having to like build it up? Let me know down below. So let's get into these tips. The first one is to speak positivity over yourself. You have to encourage yourself. You have to talk to yourself in a positive way. I feel like when you go out into the world and you get into relationships, you're getting to know different type of people, everyone is not so nice. And they'll want to question or test your self-worth. They'll start asking you silly questions like, who do you think you are? And you have to know and understand who you are, and you have to tell yourself who you are. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you cannot wait for someone or depend on someone else to tell you who you are. You have to tell yourself, you have to remind yourself of who you are daily, because people are consistently gonna test that. Who do you think you are? Oh, this is what you really, do you think you're capable of that? You know what I mean? They're consistently gonna test that. So it's better for you to validate yourself, to know your value, than for you to wait for someone else to tell you your value. Because if you don't know it, they'll definitely tell you your value. And I promise you, they're gonna give you the lowest value that they can possibly think of, or they'll put no value on you at all. So you have to make sure you value yourself, you know your worth, and you speak positivity over yourself. Okay, number two is to feel your feelings. Feelings are your friends. It shouldn't be something that you're scared of or you run away from. You have to know your feelings and you have to name them. Like just like with children, you ask them like, are you feeling sad? Are you happy? Are you angry? You have to do the same thing with yourself. For me, I feel like it allows you to remember. It acts as sort of like a marker. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, it acts like a marker. So like if someone makes you feel a type of way, or maybe in a time where you feel like your self-worth has been questioned, and you feel that feeling in that moment and you allow yourself to sit in it, when you are later on in life reintroduced to a similar situation, you'll remember how you felt and it'll allow you to pay close attention, you know what I mean, to what's going on in your life, and in just so you can, maybe if you don't want to feel like that again, then you'll be like, okay, I remember that 3 years ago I felt this way in a similar situation, and you know, that feeling sat with you, and it's like, okay, I don't want to feel like that again. So you can remove yourself from that situation before you make the same mistake, essentially. Dang, I feel like that was a long one. I hope you guys are getting what I'm saying. You picking up what I'm putting down, okay? What's the third one? Okay, so the third one is to, good. The third tip is to enjoy your own company. Enjoy your own company, enjoy your own company, enjoy your own company. Enjoy being alone. Enjoy spending time with yourself. When you sit in isolation, or you sit away from people, and you're not disturbed by everything around you, you have nothing influencing you, you really have time to soak in all that is you. Just sit within yourself, sit in the midst of yourself, just soak in everything that is you, and you can get down to the core of who you are. Especially if in those moments you talk to yourself and you figure out, like, what do you want out of life? What's your purpose? What's your goal? What do you need? I feel like those are the best times. Those are the times when I really find myself. And that's when I really start to pick and position, you know, or categorize different things in my life. And it allows me to like further understand my value and understand why I value certain things. So I feel like that's important, to just really sit by yourself and enjoy your own company. Okay, so the fourth thing is to believe in something greater than yourself. I think with myself, I feel like when I believe that there's something greater than me, I don't feel so burdened. Like it allows me to be free. It allows me to take some stress off of myself. Like I don't have to face everything alone, because God is with me. You know, he has a plan for my life. He's doing something bigger than I can even think of. Like I'm just looking at tiny pieces of the puzzle. I don't have everything fully figured out, and that's okay. It's good for me to be where I am and to understand where I am and be humbled and in that space. And it allows me to fill up that space that I'm in. That small space that, you know, the small, like my world is very small in comparison to the greater picture, to the bigger picture. So it allows me to step into my world and take up space. And I love that, because I don't know, I just love it. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't feel like a burden. It doesn't, like, life doesn't feel like a burden, because I know that there's greater for me out there, that I'm capable of doing greater. I'm capable of changing my world, and I don't have to do it alone. And it gives me a sense of it just deepens my self-worth. And also, when I feel like I'm failing, I can like bury myself in him. I can bury myself in God and understand, like, he has a greater purpose for me. He is ultimate, you know, say so of who I am. And he also resides inside of me, and he's given me authority as well. So that's, I don't know, I just feel like that gives me a lot of peace, a lot of value when it comes to my own personal self-worth. And it helps me boost my self-worth whenever I'm down or I feel like it's being challenged as well. All right, and the fifth thing, or the last thing, is to change the story that you're telling yourself about yourself. So if you have a negative story that you're telling yourself, like, oh, I'm not capable of doing this because I came from X, Y, and Z, and, you know, people that's from X, Y, and Z never make it, and they have this low sense of value, or they're not capable of doing anything, or blah, 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 blah. Whatever you're telling yourself, you need to change that story, because you are not your circumstance. It's how you react to, you know, your environment or your circumstances that determine who you are. You are not your situation, and no situation is permanent. So At the end of the day, you were born into what you were born into, and you can't change that. But at some point, the author switched. You became the person who began to write your own story. Make yourself the hero. Turn it into something that you can be proud of. And doing that will definitely increase your self-worth, the way that you value yourself. Yeah, it better. It better. It better. But yeah, those are all the tips that I have that has helped me over the time when I felt like my self-worth has been tested, helped to boost my self-worth, helped me to make me just remember who I was, and to remind myself that, you know, I am worthy. I am worthy. I am great. Greatness is inside of me. I'm the person that measures my self-worth, and that's it. I am who I say I am. If I say that I am worthy, then I'm worthy, period. So I hope that helps you, and I'll see you in the next one.